Search pattern, Rabin-Karp algorithm. Given two strings, a text string in which you want to search and a pattern string that you are looking for within the text, return all positions using one-based indexing where the pattern occurs as a substring in the text. If the pattern does not occur, return an empty list. All characters in both strings are lowercase English letters, A to Z. Okay, well, Rabin and Karp are, I'm not sure if if they're still with us or not, but they are or were, very distinguished computer scientists. There's a lot of different implementations of this algorithm. Some are very complex, some are very simple. Ours is very simple. In some implementations, it matters what the possible characters are in the strings, and in our case, it really doesn't matter. So, yeah, I think that's probably pretty self-explanatory. Okay, text size. The text size can go up to 500,000. Pattern size will be between 1 and the text size. Expected complexities, well, it's going to be linear. I mean, O of n plus m. N is the length of the string, and m is is less than or equal to n. So worst case here we have O of 2n, which is O of n. Auxiliary space, I don't really need any extra space. Well, I mean, just a few variables. Company tags, Microsoft apparently likes this question. All right. What else did I want to say before we get started here? Okay, so finding a pattern in a text. Simplest way I can think of to do that would be a sliding window. So let's say you have a pattern like A, B. And then you have a string, and the string is A. You got a lot of A's, and then a B at the end. So what's going to happen is you will start at the beginning, and you'll match A, and then you'll fail on B. You'll go down one character, and you'll match A, fail on B, and eventually go through the whole string and match it right at the end. That's pretty bad. That is, I think, probably an O of n times m algorithm. So Rabin-Karp also uses a sliding window, but the insight is that it uses a rolling hash function. So we start out by calculating a hash for the pattern, and we also calculate a hash for the first whatever the length of the pattern is for that many characters of the string. Okay, now as we go through here, we compare the hash values. And if the hash values don't match, then we don't do any comparisons of the actual letters. So that makes it a lot more efficient. Now, if the hashes are equal, then the strings may be equal. So then we have to check the strings. We're using as simple a hash function as you could imagine. Now, it is possible that your hash function is so bad that you have a lot of spurious matches and you wind up checking a lot of letters anyway. So you want to avoid that, and you can, do some research on Rabin-Karp algorithm, and you can find some, quite complex hashing algorithms. But yeah, so let's take a look at what we are going to do here. And we'll talk a little bit more about what a rolling hash is. But let me pull this over. This is our result, the array list that we're going to return as a result. We'll get the length of the the input is the pattern and the text. So we'll get the length of the pattern, we'll get the length of the text. We'll calculate a hash for the text, or the first, pattern length characters of the text, and we'll get a hash for the pattern. Now here is a simple hash function, and that is to just take the ASCII value of the characters and add them up. All right? It's very simple, but it should work. Okay, now we're going to do the sliding window through the string. I will start at 0. I will go up to text length minus pattern length. If it goes any bigger than that, then there isn't going to be enough room left in the string in the text to hold the pattern. So that's where we got to stop. Now we compare the hashes. If the hashes are equal, then we need to check the strings. So we get the substring from the text and check it against the pattern. If they are equal, we add to our result. And we add I plus 1 because we're using zero-based indexing to go through the text. And the problem said use 1-based indexing. So we'll convert it right here. The final thing, this only applies on the last iteration through the loop. The exit condition is that I equals the text length minus the pattern length. But as long as I is less than the text length minus the pattern length, we're going to recalculate the hash for the substring of the string. How do we do that? We send in the current hash, we send in the character, the first character of the current substring, which is going to go away when we slide the window, and we send in the new character that is going to be in the window when we slide the window. So recalculating the hash is just taking the current hash, subtracting the character that we're removing, and adding the ASCII value of the character, of the new character, the character that we're adding to the window. And that is it. Once we get through all of that, we should have the results in the array list, and we can return them. Let me move this over so we can see the results actually come up. Okay. And yeah, that is a correct answer. Please feel free to two correct attempts out of 5. Yeah, I'll make a confession on this, and that is that usually when I do these, I write the code ahead of time, but I don't run it ahead of time. On this one, I went through it. I did like a 10-minute discussion of the problem. I submitted it, and it failed. And so to avoid, repeated 10-minute discussions followed by failure, I changed it around until I was sure that it was going to work, that I ran it and it worked. I think I was trying to get too cute with the hashing function, and I said, well, let's just do the simplest thing that could possibly work here. And so that's what we did. Anyway, please, like the video, subscribe. I try to put one of these up every weekday. And I'll see you next time.